Okay. Good morning, students. I welcome you for the online lecture, state level lecture of Standard 9th Geography. I am Pratibha Tinde from ST Barvenagar School. So we are going to start the 9th lesson, that is trade. So what is trade related to? When the trade term is introduced to you all, so what does come into your mind? So whatever, whenever we need anything, so where do we go? We go to the market, and from there whatever things we need, we buy it. So selling and buying is a trade. So you can see in the picture, the different pictures are shown. That is, one is of market is crowded and the people are purchasing the products. Then in the second picture, you can see the buyer is giving the money and the seller is giving the product. So exchange of money and product is over there. So in the last picture, you can see buy, trade, or sell. So these are the terms related to the trade. So what is exactly trade? The buying and selling of goods is done to fulfill each other's needs. These who purchase are the consumers of the goods. These who purchase are the consumers of the goods. The producers produces and the sellers sell the goods. Means now see what is trade. The buying and selling of goods, whatever goods are there, the process of buying and selling of goods is done to fulfill each other's needs. Means what? The who is buying, they want that product, and the one who is selling, they want the money in back of the product.
Pratibha ma'am, unmute yourself. Your screen is visible, but you are not audible.
Okay.
Yes, now you are audible.
Okay. So why do we trade? So the why we do the trading? The economic life of people is interdependent. Means what? We are depending on each other. No country or no region or no state is independent. Okay, we are dependent in some or the other. Anything we are, means everything is not fulfilled by the state or the country itself. So we are interdependent. No region or country is self-sufficient. Self-sufficient means self-dependent. Okay. Trade between two regions is necessary to fulfill the needs of the people. So why trade is important? Because between the two regions, trade is necessary to fulfill the needs of the people. So whatever the needs of the peoples are there, they have to be fulfilled. For that, trade is carried out between two regions. As each region has different geographical conditions, each region produces specific commodities. Then the climate. Each region has different geographical conditions. Each region produces specific commodities. If there is a scarcity of a commodity, then there is demand for that commodity. The place where it is abundant provides the supply of the commodity. Means what? Now the region which is having scarcity of that commodity and their demand is more. So where the product is abundant means where large production is there. So that commodity is given to that region, it is in need. Okay, the demand is more over there. The supply is done from regions producing excess commodities to regions facing deficit according to the demand. So supply is done from the regions producing excess. So where the commodities are in excess, so supply is done from that. From there, it is transported to the region where it is less and their demand is more. So understood how why we are doing the trade? Why trade is important? Now see the barter system. Now you must be knowing concept somewhere. You must have previously heard this barter system. So what is a barter system? Barter system is a method of trade in which goods are exchanged without the use of money. Means what? Now in this method, now when we are going to the market, what we are doing, whenever we are buying anything, we are just paying them money. But in barter system, this is not carried out. We have to exchange goods for goods. Means money was not used in those times. You can see in the picture, books are book. One person is having the book and the lady is having the banana. So they are exchanging. In exchange of banana, books are given and books are here. The bananas are given. So this is barter system where money is not used. Only exchange of goods is done. Now we will see the visible trade. Now what do you mean by visible trade? Goods sold for is visible export, import. Food, cars, books, furniture. Now what is visible trade? First we will see buying and selling of goods. It is called visible trade. Means buying and selling of goods is done. So how we usually do when we purchase the vegetables, when we purchase the fruits. So that is visible trade. We can see it. Okay, means buying, giving the money and buying the goods, anything. So that is visible trade. So now we will see what is invisible trade. Exchange of services is called invisible trade. So services, investments. So the example, banking, education, tourism, insurance, transportation. So these are the services. So when you go in the bank, when you're taking education, so you're not getting the goods back. Okay. And tourism, you all know when you're going to visit some places. So you are just paying, but in exchange of their money, what you're getting, are you getting the goods? No. But you are visiting the place. You are exploring. So insurance, then transportation. When you're going from one place to another, that time also you are paying the money to the vehicle, whichever vehicle you buy. If you're going by the bus or auto rickshaw, but for then that person is taking you, means distance is traveled. So he's giving the service and you are paying them money. So these are invisible trade. The services which are provided are called invisible trade. That comes under the invisible trade. Now, types of trades. Now, on the basis of quality of goods, on the basis of extent of trade region. Now, on the basis of quality of goods means what? Quantity means how much. Okay. Wholesale trade, and retail trade. So now here you can see wholesale trade. You must have heard that wholesale shop is there. So when you go to that shop, whatever you are getting, you have to buy in large amount. Okay. Then retail trade is the usual when you are going to the shop and taking whatever you want. Then on the basis of extent of trade region means which is the region where your trade is done. So domestic, that is internal trade. So when you are doing domestic trade means what? Which is done within the country, example within the country or within the state. And next is international, that is external trade. International means that is not within the same country, but within the 2 countries, 3 countries, more than 1 country, okay, or more than 1 state. So that is international. No, sorry, international will be coming. Okay, so we understood what is domestic, that is internal trade, international, that is external trade. Same thing. Now what we have, internal trade is wholesale trade and retail trade. Traders buy commodities on large scale directly brought from the producers. Now what is wholesale trade? The traders, what they do, they buy commodities on a large scale, means large amount of commodities they buy directly from producers. Who are the producers? The companies, okay, who produce the products. Then the agriculture, suppose the example wheat and rice, everything. So what they are doing, they buy from directly from the farmers. So they buy large amount directly from the producers. The commodities are also sold on a large scale to retail trade. So the commodities are what? They are sold on the commodities are sold or also sold on a large scale to retail trade. This is called wholesale trading. Wholesale traders buy goods on a large scale from industrialists, farmers, etc. So the wholesale traders, what they do, they buy goods on a very large scale from industrialists, means the owners of industries, means the companies and all, and farmers, because the farmers produce the agricultural products, that is the wheat, the grains and all. So they buy from the producers on a large scale. This is wholesale trade. Now the next one is retail trade. When the trade when the traders buy goods from wholesale traders and sell it directly to consumers, then it is known as retail trading. Now see, when the traders, what they do, they buy the goods from the wholesale. Now we have seen what is wholesale trade. So the traders buy the goods from the wholesale traders and then they sell to the consumers, directly to the consumer. It is known as retail trading. The quantity of goods sold is less in this case. So the quantity of the amount of goods sold here is less. For example, the shopkeepers selling goods, vegetables, vendors in market, etc. Now, what the examples they have given? The shopkeepers, okay, the one who are selling in the shops, the goods. Then the vegetable vendors in the market. You all know the vegetable sellers. Now we will see domestic trade. This trade takes place between different regions within the same country. So what is domestic trade? We have seen previously also. So the trade which is carried out between two different regions within the same country. This country is same, but only the region is different. The example can be the different states, any two different states, suppose the Maharashtra and Punjab, those states, or any two different regions, but within the same country. The size of the country, diversity, then distribution and availability of natural resources affect the internal trade within the country. So these are the factors. Which are the factors? The size of the country. So how much is the size? Is the country large or small? Under the agriculture, how much land is there? So all these things are responsible. Then diversity, then distribution and availability of natural resources. If the natural resources are available, then how they are distributed and how they are made available to different regions. So these are all the factors which affect the internal trade within the country. So this is internal trade which is going on within the country, that is domestic trade. Now we will see the international trade. International trade means the exchange of goods and services of one country with the other country. Means what? Now when you are exchanging of goods, means suppose one country is demanding one product from the other country. So that country is having large amount of that, whatever the product is there. So that country will export that and that country, the other country will import that product. So exchange of goods and services of one country with other countries. Some countries produce specific products in excess. What I have told already. Some countries, what they do, they produce excess products. So they are having large amount with them, but demand is not more in that country. So what they do, example, crude oil in Saudi Arabia. So this is very good example. So much crude oil is available within the South Arabian countries, the Kuwait and all. So what they will do with that? So what they do, they export them, and in exchange of that, they get the money. and whatever the food products they need, so they import that. Okay, they import that from other countries. Then the example also is given that the wheat production in the USA, Canada, etc. So wheat, you all know what is a wheat? Yes, everyone. So wheat production in USA and Canada is very much, okay, very large amount of production is there. So what they do, they also export, okay, to different countries wherever shortage is there and which countries are in need of the wheat. So they will import that, and in exchange of that, they will get a good amount of money. So this is carried out between many different countries. Okay, this country, what that country needs, other country will export, import. This is going on. This is called international trade. So in simple language, you can remember what international trade. International trade is that trade in which goods and services are exchanged between two different countries. Okay, two different countries, goods are services are exchanged. That is international trade. And what is domestic trade? Whatever exchange of goods and services is done within the same country. Okay, within two regions, within which but the two regions are within the same country. That is called domestic trade. What we have seen now, domestic trade, international trade also. The international takes place between two countries. It is bilateral trade. International trade between more than two countries, it is called multilateral trade. Now see, when the international trade is taking place between only two countries, that is called bilateral trade. Bi means two. So it is called bilateral trade. But when this international trade is carried between more than two countries, means now not only two countries are not there, but more than two countries are there. So that is called multilateral trade. Multi means many, more than two. That may be 4, 3, any number of countries. Understood? Bilateral and multilateral trade. Now, when a country produces goods or services that require excess, okay, it sells these to the countries which have a demand for it. This is called export. Now, the export concept, we are using the export and import. You must have heard this many times. Now, what is export? When a country produces any product in excess means large amount. So, what that country does, it exports that, okay, means gives to other country. So that is called export. Okay, once again I'll repeat. The country, when country produces excess goods or services than required, it sells these to countries which have a demand for it. This is called export. Okay, now when a country buys those goods and services which are scarce in their own country from another country, it is known as import. Okay, now when a country, now we have seen the term export. Okay, which country is producing excess production is done in that country, and that country sells it to the country which has demand for that. That is called export. But now that country which buys it, okay, that is called importing. Okay, when a country buys those goods and services which are scarce means less, they are having less in their country but demand is more. So what they do, they import from other countries. Now example, in India, do we have the crude oil? No. So what we do, we import it from the Saudi Arabia. Okay, understood what is import? Yes. Suppose we are having large production of wheat, India. Okay. So what we will do? We are having very excess. This year, suppose we had a very large production of wheat, but according to our population, that is enough for us. But we are having in excess. So what we will do? India will try to export it, so that in that exchange we will get the money. Understood? Export and import. The difference is clear. Okay. Now we will see the balance of trade. Now what does balance of trade means? The difference between the import and export, the difference between the import and export values of a country in a specific period is called balance of trade. So the difference is there between the import and export. Okay, difference. So in a specific period, in a particular period, only that difference of import and export values of a country is seen. That is called balance of trade. We will see in detail balance of trade. Now see types of balance of trade. Now you can see the first picture. Unfavorable is written there in the diagram. Balance of trade. And you can see that fewer exporter, more importer. So now see the value, when the value of imports is more, okay, the value of import is more than the value of export. It is called unfavorable balance of trade. Means what? Now when the value of import is more, means we are importing more than the export. That is called unfavorable balance of trade. Now see now example, when we are importing something, means what? We are taking the products, but in exchange of that, we have to pay them money. So our economy is going to another country. Is this concept clear? Means our money is going to other country. So what happens? Is it good for that country? No, because we are losing the money. So when the value of import is more than the value of export, means our import is more, we are demanding more, we are telling the other countries to give us more, and we are export, means we are exporting less. We are getting the money from the other countries less, and we are giving the money to the other countries more. So this is not good. So it is called unfavorable balance of trade, not favorable, unfavorable. Okay. Remember, unfavorable means export is less, import is more. Now see the next concept. The value of export is more and the value of import than the value of import. Now value of export is more. That means we are exporting more and we are importing more. Means we are ordering less and we are giving the orders more. It is called favorable balance of, yes, it is favorable. Why? Because when we are exporting, we are getting the money. More money we are getting when we are exporting, and we are importing less. So this is very good for that country. So we are getting a large economic, means we are getting the money to our country. So this is called favorable balance trade. Now the next, the value of exports and imports is almost the same. Okay. When value of export and import is all the same. So you can see the line is straight. See the last diagram below. Trade, import, export. So that is called balance trade. Why? Because same value of export and import is almost the same. It is called balance of trade. Okay. So I hope you have concept of balance of trade clear to you all. Types of balance of trade. Now we will see the international organizations. Carrying out trade at an international level is a more complex process than domestic trade. Now, when we are carrying out the trade international to the international level, so it becomes more complex, okay, more difficult process than the domestic trade. Trade takes place between two or more nations. So when the trade is taking place between two or more nations, factors that influence the trade, the economy of the country, government policies, markets, laws, judicial system, currency, language, etc. So which are the factors that influence the trade? Influence the trade is what? To some extent, so the factors which influence the trade means they affect the trade. So the factors are the economy of the country. Yes, obviously, the economy of the country is dependent on the trade, international trade. Then the government policies, different government policies are there, markets, laws, rules and regulations are there, judicial system, then the currency. Okay. Then the languages. As we are doing the trade is international, so different languages, different countries has different languages. So that can also affect the trade. The political relations between the two countries also influence the trade between them. Yes, this is very important. How is the political relation between the two countries? Okay. So example, suppose the two countries are not having good relation, so the trade between them will not be carried out smoothly. Sometimes the obstacles in the way of trading affect the mutual relationship adversely. Sometimes the obstacles means the barriers, they come in the way of trading and they affect the mutual relationship adversely. So whatever the mutual relationships are there, they are also getting disturbed. To avoid this, international economic and trade organizations came up. So to avoid this, the International Economic and Trade Organization has been established, or they came up, so that these problems may not be raised. To smoothen and justify the process of trade between countries of different economic standing, some international economic organizations were formed. To smoothen and justify the process of trade between the two countries means what? So that the trade should go smoothly without any fighting or any clashes. So some international economic organizations were formed. These organizations work towards the facilitation and growth of international trade. So these organizations are working for the to provide the facilities and to grow the international trade. So now you can see name of the international trade organizations. So first is World Trade Organization. You can see the number of member states and logo. So you can see their logo is there. Then the headquarters is where? Geneva, that is Switzerland. So the next one you can see European Union, that is EU. Then where it is the headquarters? Brussels, that is Belgium. So you can see the logo is there in the middle column. Then the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, that is OPEC. That is where it is Australia. Then South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, that is SAARC, where it is the headquarters is in Kathmandu, Nepal. Association of Southeast Asian Nations, that is ASEAN, that is Jakarta, that is Indonesia. Then Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, that is where the headquarters are there in Singapore. Then the other organization is BRICS, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America. So it is BRICS. And where is the head? Okay, now we will see marketing. So you can see in the picture, what does marketing, they have shown you all the symbols, the sale, then the business plan. Okay, so we'll see in details marketing. Modern industrial social fabric, globalization, availability of abundant choices, alternatives of the product is the structure of today's business world. Means what? Modern industrial social fabric. Then globalization means throughout the world, all over the world. Availability of abundant choices means more choices there. Many choices are made available. Alternatives of products is the structure of today's business world. Means today's business world, these are the structure. These are very important. In this context, the existence of marketing system for trade is very important. Means what? Now for the existence of market system for trade, it is very important. Whatever we have seen now, the globalization, the ability of different choices, then it is based demand. More choices should be done, made available to the consumers. Through marketing, one can increase business systematically. So through marketing, one can increase business systematically. Means what? By doing the marketing. Marketing is what? Just publicity. Okay, publicity of your product. So by doing that, you can increase business systematically. The production can be distributed all at once on a large scale. So the production can be distributed. So whatever the production is done, that can be distributed at a once on a large scale. So on a large scale, you can, by doing the marketing, you can just distribute the product at once, at a time only. The products can reach a large number of consumers. So the product can reach a large number of consumers. The selling price of the product also increases. So here the selling price of the product also increases. Also defective products can be recalled from the market. So whatever the defective products are there, means some the product is some defects are there in that product. So that can be again called back from the market. Therefore, in today's era, marketing is a vital part of trading system. So in today's time, marketing is very important, very important for the trade system. So the trade system, marketing has been very important in today's time. Now advertisements. Advertisements makes customers feel the need to buy the goods on the rise. Now this is very important. When we see the advertisement, okay, anywhere, not only on the television, but anywhere. So even if we are not in having that, okay, demand, even we don't need that, but by looking at that, so the advertisement is so fascinating that we feel that we should buy that product and we should try that product. So this is the market. This is advertisement. So advertisement affects the customers on a very large scale. The feeling of buying, okay, the feeling of that we need that product is done to the customer. Reaching maximum customers, attracting consumers to the product and making the consumers buy the products are the objectives. So what are the objectives of advertisement? Reaching maximum customers. So reaching to the many customers at a time. How it is possible? By door to door, if you are going to do the salesperson comes to door to door. But what happens? He at a time can attend only one person. But when he does the advertisement, it is on television or he gives the pamphlets. Okay. So reaching maximum customers, attracting consumers to the products. So reaching the maximum customers, attracting consumers to the product means what? By seeing the advertisement, many consumers are coming to buy the products, and making consumers buy the products are the objective. And make the consumers buy the products means the consumers are very means they feel that they need that product and they come and buy the product. So these are the objectives. Okay. In recent times, information technology and media have affected the marketing system deeply. So now the information technology, you must have heard this term, information technology and media. They have affected the marketing system deeply. The marketing system is affected by the information technology and media. Because of the revolution in the field of information technology, the whole world has become a big market. Now you must have heard the term because of the field of information technology, the world has become a big market. So because of the online transaction, you can buy any products which you want. So because of this information technology, with the help of this information technology, the whole world has now big market. So you don't have to physically go and visit that place, but by just by doing the online transaction, by looking at the image and all, what kind of products you need, you can buy the product. Through internet, we can get information about the product